Event space is actually really important to how vibrant and lively your party is. If your ratio of people to event space is disproportionate, you may run into some issues. Some people hire big grand halls, but when they put the people in there, say if they've hired a hall for 200 people and they've only invited 50 or 80, it actually affects your party. It makes it seem empty. This is what happens when you hire a large event space with very few people. It seems empty. It seems like a dull party. I can kind of guess the psychology behind it, but really I only have experience to speak from. This problem can be solved. We've seen it being solved by putting different stations in, so you can have an area for food, a photo booth area, dedicated area for DJ, dancing, face painting. You can have just about anything to fill the space, but they're just space fillers, and you have to make sure that they fill the space really well to make it seem tight. If you don't do that and you have hired a big hall, I just suggest partition off a part of the hall just to make it a bit tighter and more lively in a smaller area. I've never experienced a bad party where there were too many people for the space. There were a lot of people and a smaller space. People were crammed together and it may have been more difficult to move around. It was a good vibe. It was a friendly vibe. Everyone's there for the same reason. They're there to have a good time and talk to each other. And that kind of made it actually a little bit easier to meet people. Because if you're trying to maneuver around people, you can kind of bump into people and say, hi, how you going? And the awkwardness is kind of taken away, you know, like what brings you here? One thing I suggest you not do is if you have a larger space, don't try to fill it with furniture. Furniture is probably the worst way to fill a space. Unless you have cocktail tables that take up very little space and they're practical. You can put drinks on them. Don't fill it up with chairs. Don't fill it up with couches, because people have the permission to sit down then. And what happens when people sit down, they form little communities or circles. They're difficult for other people to penetrate. That's something you don't want at a party. I'll cover all that in another video though. Okay everyone, I hope that helped. If you're making a decision on whether to have a larger space or a smaller space, I would choose the smaller space. If you're gonna have a larger space, try and partition it off so it seems smaller, or fill it with exciting activities. If you have any questions for us, if you want us to cover a topic, please fill out that form below. If you're on YouTube, please post a comment. Also like and subscribe if you can, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can with the suggestions for your party. My name's Chris, I'm from Open Booths. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.